All right, so I want to do a quick graphing in polar example. So I want to mark these points, which are in polar. Be a little careful now because I've made this really confusing, right? Because I'm using the same notation as I do for regular points. So you have to ask yourself, hey, is this point in polar or is it just a regular point? Like a regular Cartesian point. And I want to mark these with some variety of symbols. So how do you do this? What do you start with?
Draw an X and Y.
Okay. Draw some coordinate axes. Okay, so these are the usual X and Y axis, right? So these things live in the same place, yeah? Now, say I wanted to do 2, 0. Which one of those is which?
R is 2. 2 long.
Okay, so 2's the radius, 0's the theta. Okay, so that means I'm going to go to angle 0, which is where? Along the x-axis. So I'm looking at along the x-axis, and I need to go to distance 2, and so really I should be thinking, right, angle 0 looks like that, yeah? And I need to go 2 out on that. So I go 1, 2, and I need to put a box. Cool? All right. How about I want to go 3, pi over 4 and put a little stick man. What do I do first?
Angle pi over 4.
Okay, so pi over 4 looks like what?
45.
45 degrees. So I'm looking at kind of this sort of angle, right? And then I need to go 3 out. So 1, 2, 3 out, more or less. And full stick man. Probably erase whatever rudeness was happening. Full stick man. You guys cool with that? So that's a distance of 3 out on the angle pi over 4. All right. How about graphing -2, pi over 3?
Do the angle pi over 3 and then go back to
Okay, so I need to go pi over 3, which is 60 degrees, or a third of the way to pi, right? So that's something like, it's probably time for a new color, huh? Something like this. And I need to go -2, so I'm going to go back 2, right? So 1, 2. You guys with me on this? And I need to put my little triangle there. You guys all see that? So what's another way I could write this point? I could write it as 2, negative pi over 3 is over here. So I need to know what's reflected through this, right?
Oh.
You guys see what I'm doing? So I'm trying to write this with a different angle, but a positive radius, right? So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go, instead of here and then back, I'm going to go all the way around so I can go in the right direction. You guys see that? So what's the angle that's all the way around from pi over 3? Okay, how about this? This was pi over 3, yes?
3 by 5 pi?
What's a flat angle?
180.
180, or pi? Right, so now I'm going pi over 3 and then pi more. Good, so let's think about this as 3 pi over 3. So if you have pi over 3 and your buddy brings 3 pi over 3, then all told you have 4 pi over 3. You guys see that? So please note, in polar, there's more than one way to get to a point. You guys see that? This polar point really is the same exact thing as the polar point 2 comma 4 pi over 3. You guys remember all that jazz about coterminal angles? Yep, that's all going to come in handy here. Yeah.
So I feel like because this is negative and this is positive, this is just intrinsically, I feel like it should be going in this quadrant because it's negative, but that's positive because that's y. You see where I'm going with that?
Yeah, so remember they're not x and y's, right? They're go to this theta, then go backwards.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to that angle, and then backwards is going to put me in the opposite quadrant, not the next quadrant over. You guys see that? So you have to be a little careful with these because your usual signage doesn't quite work here, right? Normally I would think this is back and then up, right? But that's not what this guy means. This guy means go around to pi over 3 and then go out -2 units. Cool? Gonna try the other one here. This one's probably going to be hard, but I need another color. So, what do I want to do with this one?
Angle of negative 90.
Okay, so -90 is down along this, right? And then I want to go
Negative
3 backwards from that is up. So 1, 2, 3, and that one's supposed to get a sheep. Cool? Questions, concerns, deals? How else could you How else could you write that one? You could write it as 3 comma pi over 2. Okay, see that?
Funsies, can we
90 degrees and then up 3 units.
For funsies, can we do one where r is positive and theta is negative?
Sure.